You'd think that Tony Stark would be happy that he helped save the world from the Chitauri, but something about him's different now. He spends most of his time building new Iron Man suits at his mansion and has somehow managed to get himself in trouble with this mysterious menace known as the Mandarin. I'd like to think he knows what he's doing, but, well, he's Tony.
You see that lovely Malibu penthouse? Well, that's where I live with Tony Stark. Normally, it has a beautiful vista of the Pacific, but today, it has a fleet of gunships hired by the Mandarin to redecorate our lounge. He's the same villain that's been creating all kinds of chaos around town, even putting our friend Happy in the hospital. Guess he's not so happy now. Definitely not Tony's best decision giving our home address to a bunch of lava-blooded villains. On a positive note, at least his new Iron Man suit fits me snugly.
Get her, I'm gonna find a way around.
Tony! You're okay, right? We need to get you out of here right now. See, this is why I don't like it when you bring your work home with you. Tony. How is that gonna help us? Oh, it's a robot. I probably should have guessed. Can you control it from your side?
You don't like it?
Beep, 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 honk.
Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of here. That was weird, but surprisingly comfortable. Watch out for those helicopters, Tony! Ow! Well, that was really violent.
holiday greeting I've been wanting to send to the Mandarin.
What is that thing? All right, I get it. Let's just hope it works. More of these guys? Hope you've still got some tricks up that iron sleeve of yours, Tony.
For a second, we thought it was over, but a final missile slipped past. I watched in horror as the entire condo sunk into the abyss. Thankfully, Jarvis had managed to help Tony escape a watery end, but the suit had shorted out, leaving him stranded in Tennessee. Further adding to his troubles, the hot-headed villains happened to be visiting the area, and Tony's only ally was Harley, a local boy with a pretty mean potato gun. The pair were left with no choice but to take on the Flameheads together. Tony really should start keeping the rest of the Avengers on speed dial.
Whoa, that was so cool! I mean, you know, in a bad way. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. There are transformers around here that'll shut the power off. I accidentally did that. Twice. Pow! Fastest potato gunslinger in the West. Alright, that's one of them taken care of. Now to find the other one. You hungry? Tonight we're having potatoes!
Don't worry about it, I'll fix it.
No offense, but I think you might be a little too heavy for this. Let me try. Hey, look! There's a transformer up here. Let's smash it and go.
Can I just catch my breath for a second? there's no version of this where you come out on top.
Oh man, she looks angry. Like, really angry. How is she even glowing like that?
Hey, Hot Wings, you want a party? Come on, you and me, let's go.
You got a plan for this, right? It kind of feels like we're a little outmatched right now.
You'll see.
After some creative use of a microwave, Tony defeated the remaining Extremis-fueled agents and headed off to take down the Mandarin. Then, things got complicated very quickly. The Mandarin turned out to be a washed-up British actor called Trevor, and the real villain was actually someone familiar. Not an ex-neighbor, but a nerd-turned-superhuman called Aldrich Killian. I've got to admit, he was looking much more suave these days. Killian only went and took me hostage, exposing me to Extremis. He also kidnapped the president, too, and planned to serve him up like a roast turkey. Tony turned up to save the day, this time with Iron Patriot by his side, and his entire back catalog of Iron Man suits. The 10-year-old with the potato gun would have come too, but he had to tidy his room.
Okay. What do we got here? What a mess.
the Mandarin, Tony? Well, here I am. I am the Mandarin.
You're a maniac.
Try all you want. You can't win. You know that, don't you? You're only delaying the inevitable, Tony. Perhaps this will teach you to be nicer to people you randomly meet at parties.
No, I'm not afraid of you. I know you're a coward. You take a minute.
It's my You see? That suit was just like you! A failure!
Jarvis, do me a favor and blow Mark 42.
No!
Even after being cooked in an Iron Man suit, Killian was still up for another round. Luckily for Tony, I was in no mood for any more nonsense. Combining my terrifically toasty powers and an Iron Man repulsor, I flame-grilled the big geek. With that maniac out of the way, Tony celebrated by blowing up all his suits, promising to spend the holidays with me rather than with a screwdriver and an arc reactor. With the president now safe and sound, Tony promised to use his super genius to find a cure for the extremis enhancements, straight after we'd had a festive dinner. Oh, and after he'd had his shrapnel removed. Oh, and don't forget, he is Iron Man.
Excelsior!